So we have some brackets here that were from a set of stairs that were cut. We're going to clean these up just a little bit, make them just a little bit more square, and use those to brace the top inside corners of the trommel frame. Let's get cutting. We're not measuring these per se, we're really just looking to make them square to the two sides. So we're going to do a squaring cut for the short side to the long side, and then do a skim coat to make sure that there's no rough spots on the long edge. Ryobi is not sponsoring this. This was a thrift shop find. Note, this is an 8.5-inch saw. It is extremely hard to find blades for this particular saw. I would never recommend anybody getting a non-standard saw size. Ryobi, what were you thinking?
Yep. Well, now that that one's squared, we can now cut it again and get that one ready.
So we're not looking to make a deep cut on this, just a skim.
And you always have to push it forward, pull it forward as far as it can go before you start cutting. And then you pull it, push it back. And also there's a little lock button that's yellow, and then there's a trigger. You have to push the lock, then the trigger. If you want this Ryobi's saw to go.
Okay, there's one squared up.
Now we're going to start cutting it again. Wait, what? Okay, that was strange.
Thrift shop find. The guard here on the saw sometimes doesn't move and locks up. So, double check, make sure I'm where I want to be cutting.
Pieces of sawdust are going everywhere.
And that is why we're making these squaring cuts.
They are really triangular. Like really triangular.
Yep, the edges are a wedge shape and not square. But that's partly because these were originally cut with a handheld circular saw.
Not a machine saw. Machine saws are a lot more accurate when you line it up correctly.
Machine saw? Where did you come up with this term?
It's a machine and it's a saw, so.
So a handheld circular saw versus a saw with a fence that allows you to precisely set the angles. So this is a sliding compound miter saw. Other options could be a table saw, a band saw, a radial arm saw, anything that has a fence and can have precise angles set. Versus freehanding something that, I mean, we did attempt to square up the circular saw, if you saw that video.
Yeah, you might want to check it out.
It'll be in the cards.
Cards?
Yes, YouTube lingo, in the cards.
It's going to be in
So,
the description, okay?
The description, some people call that the doobly-doo.
It's going to be in the description if you want to check out that video.
The cards are little things that pop up in the videos.
It's going to be in the cards in the video.
Nice thin cut, just to finalize making that square. So there's 2.
Dad, you might want to edit out something. There's sawdust on the screen, so I was like,
Assistant. Best to leave things alone and worry. If there was like a big glob of sawdust, okay.
it was a big blob.
Put your fingers in front of the lens. Blah, 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 blah. Those things make for a lot more work in post-process. Okay. So, hi there. What are you doing, mister? I'm making more work for post-processing.
Just moving it around.
Exactly. I want to do the least amount of work in editing these as possible.
Okay. Well, you're going to be editing a lot right now.
Unfortunately. So, leftover cuts here at the end from where it was hand trimmed.
Yeah, we're going to cut that off.
We don't need to worry about the fact that it's there while we're doing these squaring cuts, because there's a gap right here in the fence, and this will sit inside that gap.
So we'll just cut it off.
Now, if this saw had come with what it was, would have came with new, there's a post here with a little clamp that could come down and clamp on this so that I could have my hand further away.
But we don't have that.
And being triangular, I can't use a clamp this direction, and there's nothing for me to grab to clamp in the vertical direction. So I'm kind of stuck with what I have.
Yeah.
And you just added more post-processing work. You know why?
Why?
Because you were holding the camera while you're trying to swat a bee, and that camera was going wah!
Okay.
So, best advice, it's on a tripod, move your hands and feet away, and just monitor the speed. In fact, that's exactly what they do in the professional industry. They monitor things so that they move things when they need to, but most of it's just monitoring. Okay. Making note of where we want these, and that we're going to send a couple screws in from this side. We have to measure in so that when we come here, we can add just a little bit. And find the spot where we want to be. So I'm about 1.5 inches. Now let's make that 2 inches. So I'll go about 2.5. And then let's see how high up. So what we're looking for is that we're not going to put these long screws through the back side here and be sticking out like that. So I think probably right about there. Oh. Need a switch. This is a T20 Yep, that's the T20. Milwaukee, color code your bits. It's really hard to read the numbers. Milwaukee, not a sponsor. Craftsman, Die Hard, not sponsors. Nothing's sponsored. Why would you even think that we're sponsored? We're just a couple of people working on projects. Now, it would be nice if we were sponsored or some other way being paid, but that's not why we're doing this. Okay. Well, now we have the debate. Do we deal with that and screw it from the back side or screw down from this side? Screw down from this side, we're going to have to drill a hole. The center is way over here. You're still like way over there, not where I'm at.
Here.
Not to say that the center's, you know, where you want, you know, think thirds. Okay? A third from the bottom, a third from the top. There's a middle third. That middle third is a good area.
Okay.
Third in from the side, left and right. Okay. Of course, to put that in from this side, I'll have to flip it up. But let's go ahead and get that side. And
Cheese. See you. Tissue. Cheese. Cheese.
cheese.
Cheese.
Right there.
Cheese and cheese and cheese. Cheese in there. Right there. A sand. Cheese.
Cheese.
Sand cheese.
Sand cheese.
And sandy. No fun. That is summer. Go away. Come, summer.